I kind of thought this would be the case, and sure enough, it is. Just like Modern Warfare 2019, patch notes for this Modern Warfare 2 year haven't exactly conveyed every change or addition just yet, so in the spirit of keeping up the series from Modern Warfare 2019 and into 2020, today we're running down some hidden, secret, or unmentioned changes, however you want to describe them, from the Season 1 update that you may or may not have seen introduced into Modern Warfare 2, as well as Warzone 2 across the board. As we go along, drop your thoughts below. Any one of these changes in particular you find interesting? Anything you're really happy to see? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoy the video, you'll find it at all insightful. Do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ, as we've got plenty to go over here in the coming days to weeks. We're on that road to 600,000 subscribers, so if you're part of that 70% of viewers not subscribed and you'd like to join us, I'd love to have you. And finally, check out my friends over at G Fuel. Code Espresso gets you 20% off your entire order, so if you want to restock or try something out for the very first time in celebration of the Season 1 launch with Warzone 2 and DMZ, link is in the description below if you're at all interested. But for now, let's take a look at these hidden changes of Season 1. First, I want to talk a little bit about the Creator class and some stuff that you'll see here in relation to that. Firstly, a lot of the stuff in this section actually deals with the camos and the way that you can end up seeing challenges, you can preview camos and things like that. So the first and foremost is that, of course, camo challenges are now actually visible even if a weapon is not ranked up. That's an actually awesome change if you ask me. Beforehand, it would say that the challenge was unlocked at a certain level, whatever it was, depending on that weapon, but now you can end up taking a look at the 4 different camo challenges, even if it is not ranked up to that specific level that is necessary. And also, keeping in that same theme, you can now also see these sort of challenges required for your higher completionist camos as well, whether that be gold, platinum, or polyatomic. Orion's not really listed, of course, just because you need the polyatomic camo challenges, and there's no other criteria behind that, but those were also changed as well. Launchers will now show up if you want to try and see a camo displayed on that as well. Beforehand, you could only preview, just for whatever reason, the box that the launcher came in, so it didn't really do you any good. You couldn't see what the camo looked like on that specific launcher, but now it will actually preview the weapon itself, showing off that camo that you have for the preview of the selection. Orion camo was actually changed as well, in which the speed is now increased ever so slightly. I still think that it could use a little bit more of a speed boost here to this, making it a bit more, not necessarily over the top animated, but to the point where if you're not paying attention, you might think it is a static camo still. So that's something that I could see, maybe like a 50% increase to the speed perhaps, that may be a good spot, but for right now it was adjusted. I'm not expecting it to be the final adjustment made to it overall though. And finally, in terms of other camos that were adjusted, well, if you're a fan of the solid colors category of camos, these got, if you could say, nerfed pretty heavily, in which a lot of the colors actually were changed to much more drab, muted color variations of it. The neon loud green camo from the FSS Hurricane, the level 14 challenge to get prone kills, that was one that is probably the most adjusted here with this, where it was a very neon over the top. I mean, the selection icon that we had is still a neon green and what it was pre-patch, but it's now a much more sort of muted version of that, where it's not as vibrant, it's a little bit more dull. And if I'm not mistaken, there also is more wear and tear on the camo as well that does not showcase the entire canvas of the weapon being covered. Instead, while that is something that's more so weapon specific, it is more apparent now with this. So those solid colors were adjusted as well. Another noticeable one, at least in the menus, is the whiteout. It's like an eggshell color. That shows up more so still in game closer to white, but it is still a slightly different version as well. So those were adjusted and round out the camo changes here with this. In Creator class, one thing that is interesting is that the Creator class icons now have outlines for, it seems like, some platforms. This is something that I noticed on PC, and honestly, I think is a really awesome change, something that gives you quick recognition of what is adjusted versus the base weapon. But while it's there on PC, when I went to double check some stuff on my PlayStation 5 version of Modern Warfare 2, it wasn't there. So it's something that's certainly interesting, kind of weird that it's not there across the board. Maybe it's a progressive rollout type thing where PlayStation and maybe Xbox, if it is like that as well, that'll get an update coming soon. But an interesting change that I think is a pretty good one, if you ask me, for just quick reference, quality of life stuff. Beyond that, we saw some new game modes added in the back end, prepping for what we'll see here across Season 1 in the future, that being Cyber Attack and Bounty, both of those available via private matches if you guys want to try those out already. Cyber Attack is what you'd think it is the sort of search and destroy variant that we had back in Modern Warfare 2019. A lot of fun with that one. I know that was a fan favorite for a lot of people, and before the launch of Modern Warfare 2 even, I saw a bunch of people saying, I hope Cyber Attack comes back, and it seems like we'll see it here in the future. Hopefully not as just a LTM though, and something that would be going away after a couple of weeks time. But Bounty is a new mode overall where it's kind of like a TDM here where players got to eliminate each other to the score limit, but the difference is that the players with the most kills from each team will be marked as the HVT, high value target, alternating on a time interval and rewarding extra points to the player who takes down the HVT. Now, while we're on the topic of game modes here, the CDL playlists in private matches were actually taken offline for a temporary amount of time. This is something that is likely to get rid of the ability to equip, view, and unlock, in air quotes, things that aren't quite earned or are unreleased yet. This was an incredibly easy bug, glitch, whatever you want to call it, that happened since launch, so I'd assume that's why it was taken offline, and again, it's something that will likely be coming back, but was an unmentioned change of this update as well. The firing range kind of coming back to a little bit of creative class stuff. The range dummies now have more accurate multiplier counts for locational damage, so giving you a more accurate indication of what you'll be doing with that weapon, as opposed to beforehand, they may have been a bit ambiguous as opposed to real in-game engagements. Now, as for some customization options, we saw a decent bit of stuff here added with this update that wasn't quite communicated or was half communicated. Firstly, we see the ability to change loading screens here with this now, where this customization option is kind of available right now. It seems like some players may have a couple of things here, but many are still locked, though it seems like this will be stuff that's sort of filler items between bundles. One is available now through the Tactical Human bundle, so you may have that one if you purchase that. In that new customized tab, we do have the calling card and emblem selection as well, which will just take you to your normal emblems and calling cards as well. Unfortunately, none of them are retroactive from things that tracked challenges and all back from launch to Season 1. So if you ended up doing anything in particular that would have really heavily contributed to some of these sort of career challenges, unfortunately, all that progress is lost. Tracking started with Season 1, not from launch. So that's going to be something that takes a little bit more time here if you're going towards one particular long-standing grind or anything like that, but just know that's something that is the unfortunate reality of this update. We also see introduced with this some vehicle customization, further at least, where there are skins, horns that are currently unavailable in War Tracks. Now right now there's a bit of preview into War Tracks. There's one that seems like it's available to everybody. That's Let's Ride, which is the Public Enemy Fight the Power War Track. But then we also have listed what appears to be a partial list of war tracks for, I would imagine, World Cup national anthems. All seem to match up here, though there's still a bunch of countries missing. If this is indeed the case, we do know that there is going to be that Modern Warfare FC crossover in relation to the World Cup here upcoming, but still missing out of these countries that would be from the World Cup or Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, Iran, Wales, Saudi Arabia, Poland, Australia, Denmark, Costa Rica, Japan, Canada, Morocco, Croatia, Serbia, Switzerland, Portugal, and Uruguay. So not quite every country is accounted for, but the first couple, it seems like, are. Beyond that, Premium XP was introduced at the Season 1 update in Warzone 2, and that's something that offers a little bit more XP yield for those that own Modern Warfare 2 and play Warzone 2. No specifics are given just yet on just how much Premium XP really is, but it is something available for all Modern Warfare 2 owners until October of next year, similar to the length of the exclusive deals for things like PlayStation lately, but it's for everybody that owns the game instead of platform specific. Now, I'm wondering if this is actually going to be something that goes forward as a bonus into the future, like whatever 2023 turns out to be in terms of that premium title. If those players that own that game also play Warzone, if they'll get the Premium XP, and then in 2024 for Treyarch's next title, will they have Premium XP for those that play Warzone 2 and own that game? Usually those things that last a whole 12-month period in duration, that wouldn't necessarily be something that goes away, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. And finally, some sort of menu introductions here. We have the ability to manage files as an option now within that settings tab of the menu. This offers up the ability to easily manage and navigate the content packs for each aspect of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. You could do this before, but it was more so going further into the storage directories of your actual console to manage it, or on PC it was relatively simple, but again, that wasn't for everybody. Not everybody had that opportunity to do so. So now it's relatively easy to uninstall or reinstall content packs of the game, freeing up storage for things that you may or may not use. And finally, you have the ability again to edit your clan tags. That was something that was taken offline for a short period of time, but reintroduced with the Season 1 update. Now, additionally, as a final note here, or notes, something that did not change with the Season 1 update was a fix for suppressors, still not hiding you while you have Ghost active and a UAV is up. So fun stuff on that. And additionally, footstep audio was increased across the board in 6v6 and for Warzone, but that's since been seemingly reverted. So a change, but non-change at this point. So you may have heard about that one. Just wanted to touch on it if you did. Beyond that, that is our hidden and secret changes of Season 1 and what we saw within Warzone 2, DMZ, and Modern Warfare 2 with the Season 1 update. So let me know your thoughts down below. Anything in particular you guys caught or maybe we missed here in this video? Anything that you guys particularly like out of these hidden changes? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ. We've got a lot upcoming still, so if you're interested, make sure you stick it here on the channel. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.